Welcome back to the place you've all been dreaming of. Welcome back. Hello, welcome. I forgot what I had to do. I'm sorry. I have 4 days off and I got no idea what I'm doing. How are you all? There has been so much happening. There's been times I've gone, oh, I've got to go online, but I've resisted. I've had to have a breakaway. So thank you for everyone that sent me messages, people that checked up on me, people that, it was just really, really lovely. Sometimes streaming every night gets just too much. So I think I'm going to step away every now and then. It won't be for 4 nights. It might be just for a night here or there, just for my sanity, really. It's a really tough gig. So how are you all? I hope you're all doing well. Hello, Joanne. I've just seen who's here. Kim and Rufus and Robin, and I saw the Fox, short little Cook, Cal and Callan. You do it once a week and you're insane. Hello, Cheap Glass. How are you? And for all the people, I bet you've all missed all the Katie Joy shenanigans. Oh, hasn't that been crazy? Why did you go crazy when I wasn't doing anything? So I've been working on a few projects. So as for the members, they would have got a message on, the members would have got on the message board about a sports broadcaster who's worked with the ABC, commentated on several Olympics and several Commonwealth Games, and about doing a Q&A to ask about all your sports broadcasting questions, like the fails that happen, what happens behind the scenes. Do you know that they're journalists? And do you know that they put hours and hours of work into what they do? And do you know that sometimes it takes them 6 months to actually research before they go and commentate on something? So I thought it would be really interesting to hear what it's like to be a sports commentator, particularly on a big stage. So that may happen sooner rather than later, and if it goes well, it may become a regular spot. So we'll just see. Particularly if you like sport, even if you don't like sport and you want to know about broadcasting or some of the behind the scenes, some of the stories, some of the funny stories, some of the bloopers. So looking at that, so I've been working on that behind the scenes. I've been working on my assignments. Pronouncing names, yes. Well, how do they learn to pronounce the names is what I want to know. And the worst thing is when you're talking to a sports commentator and you're talking about a particular person and you can't pronounce that name and they go and pronounce the name for you. It's like, what? How did you spit that out? So yes, if all going well, I'm hoping that's going to be Saturday morning Australia time, which is your Friday night. So I'm just... I know, so sorry, Bo. You're only a couple of minutes early. We're still saying hello. So that looks like that might be Saturday morning, your Friday night for most of you as the first one, and we'll see how it goes. If you're interested in it, we might be able to do some more, or maybe have a different sports focus or something. Pick a sport, but anyway. I'm reading comments. I am on phone. Okay, cool. So and we're still in lockdown. Who knows? I believe the country folk may be able to get out soon, which will be good. Our cases are going up, which they should, they're going the wrong direction. So I'm having a feeling we'll be in lockdown for a while, unfortunately. And the chat's working again, so I'm going to have a lot better control of the chat tonight. So I've got a few things that I want to talk about. I want to talk about the Senate Estimates Committee today because Google and YouTube actually was before a government Senate committee today. And some of the things that they said were very, very interesting. But in Australia, there is a code of conduct called misinformation and information, which Google has actually signed up on, and Google and YouTube. And so an Australian YouTuber can actually get their content taken down for misinformation. Now, the other thing that's come out about it is that one of the politicians complained about the fact that there was a video up with misinformation, and they said to get YouTube to look at it, you need to report it. So apparently reporting is good to do. So if there's a certain creator there that's giving out wrong information, you report them. So that was interesting. Yes, that's about Sky News. And the Sky News CEO had a bit of a hissy fit and said some very interesting things. So I want to look at that because Sky News has come out and said that YouTube should not have any control over what they produce on YouTube. Yes, I know. That's arrogance. That's stupid. But yes, so we can look at that. I've got two really cool good news stories for you. One out of Israel, one out of Australia. In fact, there's three good news stories because there's an update on Wilcannia as we've been following with their COVID battle. They finally got their motorhomes. Yay. About time. An online blogger, lawyer, he calls himself a journalist, has been charged with contempt of court and has to go spend 14 days jail. I want to look at that. Yeah, and then we want to see what's happening in the days of without a crystal ball's luck. You know, that is just crazy stuff. Well, this is the thing. It does sort of bring in a whole pile of different questions. I didn't see all of it. I wanted to watch all of it, but I didn't see all of it. But I saw some of Kevin Rudd's evidence. I saw Google and YouTube's evidence, and I saw part of Sky News evidence. But yeah, I know that the regulatory body had to face the Senate today. But we're going to see what Sky News has to say, because it's, in my opinion, and this is my opinion, please do not take this as fact, I think it's very arrogant what Sky News' opinion. Hello, Cooper. How are you going? So good to see you. So let's start off with something good before we get into the heavy stuff. Let's start off with something good. So on Friday, a little 3-year-old boy went missing, and he had autism, and there's been a search for him. Anyway, he was found today. They found him today. So he has been found drinking water from a creek in a deep gully after he vanished from his family's rural New South Wales property last Friday. He said his son was in reasonable shape considering his ordeal. He's got some nappy rash. He's been bitten by ants. He's fallen over, but he's alive. He was found in an area that they had already searched. That they said we searched that area from head to toe. So they're very grateful. They were very, very worried that he may have been kidnapped. Oh, is that helicopter footage? Yeah. So they actually were very concerned he'd been kidnapped. That was the big concern because he's got autism, and I think he's nonverbal. So there's a lot of issues there. But the fact that he found some water increased his survive. So he had cuts to his leg. He's probably drunk some contaminated water. He's been taken to hospital and he went to sleep. They said he was sleeping the whole time, which is not surprising. When he woke up, all he wanted was to eat. He got stuck to 3 slices of pizza and a banana. So that is an amazing story. Area pictures captured the moment the boy, wrapped in a full blanket, was carried by paramedics through the bush. His grandmother dropped to her knees, threw her arms in the air, praising police and volunteers. The police called me. They found him. He's alive. They sobbed. They said to watch a video of the boy who has autism and is nonverbal being cradled by his mother inside an ambulance. So he's nonverbal. So here we go. So, as you can see, there is a celebration that was happening. So on Sunday, the police seized the white man, which the family said was seen at the area. He went missing. So that, yeah, they were very concerned he was kidnapped or abducted. So it's been big news in Australia the last 3 days. But they found him. As I said, they had already searched that area. They found him in an area where they had already searched him, where they'd already searched for him. So that's the first good news story. That is just a really good way to start our story out in today. Here's another one for you. Look at these. Look at these two. Israel conjoined twins undergo rare and complex separation surgery. They've been separated. 1-year-old twin Israeli girls who were born conjoined at the head back to back can make eye contact for the first time after undergoing rare separation surgery. The more than 12-hour operation at the Soraka Medical Center took months of preparation and involved dozens of experts from Israel and abroad, the hospital said. This was a rare and complex surgery that has been conducted over 20 times worldwide and now for the first time in Israel. The medical team even built a 3D reality I am too cheap class. As I said, I thought this was an awesome way to come back. So the photos in Israel media showed the twins whose names were not being provided facing one another in a cot, heads bandaged. They are recovering nicely. They are breathing and eating on their own. So that was them before that was them. And let's have a look. So and there they are, look, on their own. I guess they've got a bit of an adjustment to do now because they've spent 1 year not being able to see each other. Imagine what that would be like, knowing that you had your sibling at the back of you and now they're in front of you. That would be amazing. I know, they're great. They were such great stories, Joanne. So let's look at, hello, Kellen. Let's look at Wilcannia. So we were looking at Wilcannia. So we know that they've got a small population, that it's now up to 13% of the population now have COVID. It just popped in my head that certain someone should have had that level if it happened to her. So I know, it's really... I'm not crying at last. Yeah. I'm back at work. Oh, look, I'm tearing up too. Oh, totally clueless. You're back to your name. So, as promised, they've had the motorhomes delivered. So we know that there was, well, now there's 13% of the population with COVID. They needed somewhere for COVID positive people to isolate. So there was 30 vehicles set up at the showgrounds as temporary accommodation. So they're hoping that this will now reduce transmission of the virus in the community and have them brow back on the quarantine. So now they're hoping that everyone can be isolated. So each motorhome has heating, cooling, includes living and bedroom accommodation, shower, toilet, kitchen, linen, radio, and television. The showgrounds has access to power, water, and waste disposals. Now, the other thing that New South Wales Health has done is they've set up a base camp with staff on the ground. So that is from New South Wales Health, the police, the ADF, Aboriginal Affairs, Royal Fire Service, State Emergency Service, the Ambulance, Resilience New South Wales, the Royal Flying Doctor Service, the Council, and volunteer organisations. And they're going to set up that camp, all of those support services there to assist the people that are positive with anything that they need. It's about time that it was done. However, they've done it. So that's the first lot of motorhomes that have come back. So that, I think, is pretty cool that they've finally done it. Whether it can stop it or not is yet another thing. So no, I haven't watched Gladys. You know what? I don't watch Gladys. I don't watch Dan. I can't watch anybody at the moment. I just get really angry these days. I just get angry at everybody. I'm very angry at the world. Oh, I just get angry at all. Yeah, it's good to see some help finally, Cooper, isn't it? I mean, it took a while. I mean, last week they had 10% infected. Now they're at 13% infected. So better late than never. All right. So as I said to you, let's get on to the media diversity. I'm just writing down the timestamps here. So we're going to look. I've got 3 different articles from 3 different perspectives because that's what I want to do. I can't watch them either at the moment. No. I end up yelling at the TV. Actually, I have to admit, I had to switch off the Senate committee today as well because I was yelling at the stupid questions. Some of the politicians have the dumbest questions. Anyway, what are motorhomes for? Sheep glass. So because it's a small community of 800 people and it's a community of largely Indigenous people, they all live together in a family. So one home may have 10 people. So if someone gets COVID, that means 10 people can end up with COVID. So if they get one person that has COVID, then they can put the person with COVID in the motorhome, get them isolated, and hopefully that protects everyone else in the home. That is the aim of it. But there's 13% positive. So we're going to start off with, I was just trying to find, because one had, yeah, so let's look at this one. We're going to start off with Mumbrella because Mombrella looks at it from the Google YouTube point of view. The other two look at it from the Sky point of view. So it says Google executives defend public interest behind Sky News ban at media diversity hearing. So in case you haven't caught up, Sky News Australia got a 7-day ban from YouTube for misinformation of COVID. Now, what was revealed in this committee? What was revealed is that they actually were given a warning and they ignored the warning. They never responded to the warning. And so Google ended up giving them a ban because they got more and more complaints. So they looked into it, and then they got a ban, and they deleted all the videos in question. So there's a Senate committee into media diversity at the moment. They called them all. They called Google, Sky News, the media regulator, a whole group of interested parties today into this committee, and they had to give evidence. Now, what was interesting is that it was stated at the committee that all the information that was given would be protected under parliamentary privilege, which is quite interesting, as we know, with the Barilaro situation. So this morning saw the Media Diversity in Australia Senate Committee hearing reconvene after today's session was postponed last month following a snap lockdown in the nation's capital. The focus of the first session was on Google's and YouTube's policies regarding misinformation and disinformation. So they have a misinformation and disinformation policy. This is the thing, Alberta. There is a misinformation and disinformation. Yeah, so yeah, that's what I'm saying. The person that's sick gets locked away, gets put into the home. So it says this saw Google's Director of Public Policy for Australia and New Zealand, Lucinda Longcroft, and Samantha York, Senior Management, Government Affairs and Public Policy, Australia and New Zealand, appear before the committee, taking questions from the committee chair. So Google has a whole group of people in Australia as well. So there was Green Senator Sarah Hanson-Young, Labor Senator Kim Carr, Country Liberal Party Senator Sam McMahon, and Liberal Party Senator Jared Rennick. So Longcraft affirmed to the committee that Google's policies aim to strike a balance between providing the greatest amount of information available while ensuring safety to the community, stating YouTube is not an anything goes platform. She clarified that subsequent to the publisher's ban from the platform, 23 videos in total were removed for breaching its COVID-19 misinformation policies. Following the ban and removal of content, Longcraft said that Sky News Australia did not appeal any decisions, nor did it receive any official complaint. However, it did raise concerns over YouTube's policy. So Sky News decided not to appeal, not to complain officially, but raise concerns over the policies and whinge over social media. Longcraft said the initial ban, only then did Google receive communications. She said following the initial ban, only then did Google receive communications from the Australian Communications and Media Authority. That's the regulator. Longcraft said the company has always worked closely with the regulator on developing the Disinformation Code of Practice, which is a voluntary code in order to protect users and fight misinformation. And YouTube and Google have actually signed that and so it is voluntary. They abide by that. Longcraft told the committee that over the course of the pandemic, it has provided new power. I don't know, Spanky. Has provided the Department of Health with $4.8 million in free advertising in order to provide authoritative public health information. So Google has offered $4.8 million in free advertising to the Department of Health to get the correct information out there. Also appearing in today's programming was Sky News Australia CEO Paul Whittaker, former Prime Minister Kevin Rudd, ACMA Chair Nerida O'Loughlin, and Cornelia Chapman, ACMA Deputy Chair and CEO. A Sky News presenter panel featuring Alan Jones, Rowan Dean, and Rita Panani was understood to be appearing before the committee and featured in the running order for last month's sitting before it was postponed the day prior. And however, they backed out on Friday for no specific reason. And interesting, News Corp co-chair Lachlan Murdoch was also invited by Senator Hanson-Young to appear as a witness, however, declined. So Google and YouTube have this misinformation, it's a mouthful, misinformation and disinformation policy that they have developed. Oh, wow, that's interesting. And apparently they're very serious. Somebody had said about, I'd seen a video that had misinformation in it and it was still up. And essentially YouTube and Google said, well, you need to report the videos. That's the only way that they get put into the, all videos need to be reported. And that's the only way that they can get manually overridden. So then this is news.com. So this one says, frankly ridiculous. Sky News blasts YouTube ban at media diversity inquiry. So we've already got a different perspective. Sky News has hit out at YouTube for removing its videos from the platform and suspending it for a week, saying it was frankly ridiculous. So Sky News CEO Paul Whittaker has blasted YouTube. And news report today, oh, really? See, I can't be bothered with Sky News. So in his opening statement to the Senate inquiry, hello ACDC fan, rejecting suggestions the network ever denied the existence of COVID-19 and accusing the social media platform of censoring certain views. In a strongly worded 6-minute statement, Mr. Whittaker said YouTube's assertion Sky had peddled COVID deniers theories was frankly ridiculous, as the network had provided 24/7 coronavirus coverage since March 2020, covering all angles of this evolving national and global public health and policy debate. Last month, YouTube took the unprecedented step of removing 23 Sky News videos from the platform and suspending it for a week. Sky News has nearly 2 million subscribers to its YouTube channel and has uploaded in excess of 50,000 pieces of content. Sky News strongly supports vaccinations. Any claims to the contrary are false and a blatant attempt to discredit and harm our news service. All the network's hosts continue to speak strongly in support of vaccination as the only way forward for the nation. But YouTube's own editorial policies regarding COVID-19 were inconsistent and impossible to imply, Mr. Whittaker said, as they mandated adherence to the ever-shifting World Health Organization guidelines, and these guidelines were sometimes at odds with health advice from government. YouTube's actions make it clear that it is not a neutral platform, but a publisher selectively broadcasting content and censoring certain views, while allowing videos that are patently false, misogynistic, and racist to proliferate, Mr. Whittaker said, pointing out the difficulty in complying with YouTube's editorial policies on COVID-19. Mr. Whittaker said Queensland's Chief Health Officer Jeanette Young's advice on the AstraZeneca vaccine conflicted with official WHO guidelines, but it was a legitimate view to cover. We've covered every angle of this crisis, mostly live. I heard that had rushed. I haven't really I haven't really looked at it yet to see exactly what it's about. So debates on Sky After Dark about the use of ivermectin, ivermectin and hydro, anyway, those two words, in COVID-19 treatment reflected ongoing discussions by experts worldwide and were in the public interest, he said. While Sky News videos were removed, the videos on drug taking, gang violence and crackpot conspiracy theories were widely available on YouTube, he added. The Sky News CEO also blasted the platform for editorial policies that lack transparency, for not giving operators the opportunity to remove offending content before a suspension order. Hello, Mr. Sky News guy. You got a warning. With no assurance from YouTube that the video takedowns or suspensions would not occur in the future, Sky has removed a number of its own clips in an attempt to navigate YouTube's opaque policies. New terms of service should be applicable to YouTube, as it was clearly a publisher in its own right. Why does a tech giant, YouTube, and faceless, nameless individuals backed by an algorithm based in California get to decide that holding governments and decision makers to account is misinformation? Why do they get to decide what is and what isn't allowed to be in the news? So, Sky News was the open debate of all issues by a wide range of people, Mr. Whitaker said, and this was a fundamental tenet of our society that should be upheld and protected. Mr. Whitaker said it was the decision of Sky News hosts not to appear before the committee, firmly rejecting suggestions from committee chair Senator Sarah Hanson-Young that they may have been pressured not to appear. In a test exchange, he rejected suggestions from Senator Hanson-Young that Sky News promoted disinformation and COVID lies. Mr. Whitaker said YouTube had overreached in taking down the 23 COVID-19 videos. There were no complaints from the public about them. He said he didn't believe that Sky News had ever breached YouTube editorial policies. Sky did not appeal a warning issued from YouTube in December 2020 about 2 videos uploaded in October 2020 because the network needed clarification about the reasons for the warning. Sky News was this is what really bugs me in this one. Sky News was accountable to the Australian people, but YouTube was not, he stated. They take no responsibility, yet they want to take decisions on what is published. It's their platform. The network did not have a specific policy of COVID-19 coverage, but always aimed to be accurate, he said. We publish every day hours and hours of live content. I would argue we have covered every angle of this pandemic. Anyone who watches our channel is very well informed, he said. The policies are the police that govern everything we broadcast. He rejected suggestion from Senator Hanson-Young's business model was to create controversy and outrage. Not at all, he said. In a response to a question from the NT Country Liberal Party, Senator Sam McMahon, Mr. Whitaker said the YouTube ban had a financial cost on Sky, though it was a relatively small percentage of the channel's revenue. Asked by SA Liberal Senator Alex Antic about the attempts by the left to shut down free speech, Mr. Whitaker said free speech was a vital structure of democratic society, but social media giants were completely unaccountable. Interesting. South Australia Liberal Senator Alex Antic. Maybe South Australia Liberal Senator Alex Antic needs to have a chat to John Barilaro about the attempts to shut down free speech. I'm just saying. Mr. Whitaker revealed a letter that he wrote to Google's CEO about the ban received no response or even acknowledgement. Senator Antic asked if former Prime Minister Kevin Rudd had brought a lawsuit against Sky News. Kevin Rudd has written to us. It's not a lawsuit at the moment, he said. Senator Antic then asked Senator Hanson-Young if it was appropriate for Mr. Rudd to give evidence at the committee hearing. Labor Senator Kim Carr said 500,000 Australians had petitioned for the Parliament asking for a Royal Commission into media diversity and asked Mr. Whitaker for his views. We've never had more media diversity in this country, Mr. Whitaker said. People have never had so much choice for news. We've got new brands that have entered the market in recent years. Asked by Senator Carr about a report in Line newspaper about forthcoming News Corp coverage on climate change policies, Mr. Whitaker said Sky's focus would be on Australia's potential energy pathways to net zero. Climate change was one of the biggest issues in the world, he said. We are looking at the net zero issue. We are seeking to explore the solutions. Sky News and News Corp did not deny climate change. Grilled about the influence of the News Corp non-executive chairman Lachlan Murdoch, Mr. Whitaker said he had little influence over Sky News coverage and the two spoke infrequently. Asked by Green Centre's, oopsies, sorry, Spanky, Green Centre's Maureen about comments by Sky host Rowan Dean in 2017 that the then race commissioner Tim South, I cannot pronounce his name, should go back to Laos. Mr. Whitaker stressed he was not with the network then. If there were inappropriate comments, there are various forums people can go if there was a breach. Mr. Whitaker said far-right figure Blair Cottrell would not appear on Sky while he remained as CEO. I would not have Blair Cottrell back on this network, he said. Quizzed by Senator Hanson Young about Alan Jones being dropped as a Daily Mail columnist, and that's why he was still on Sky News. Mr. Whitaker said Mr. Jones was popular with Sky News audience, but on occasions when he made errors on air, he later corrected. So that is the speech he said. That was the speech he gave. So what do you reckon? What are you thinking about Sky News? It goes, like all news channels, we strive to get it right. When we make mistakes, we correct them. So that was that one. So then we've got this one. Frankly ridiculous. Sky News blasts YouTube inquiry. So we're getting the fact that Sky News has blasted YouTube. Not that YouTube had stated. I'm spinning around. So that's what's happened. I know. So the Sky News one was the big one. So, as I said, they have had to change their tune to when I hate it. I need more than one. Yeah. Look, I don't mind. It's interesting because they're trying to say that they have a very balanced view to the pandemic. But as I said, I don't really pay much attention. So, all right, interesting. Here's our latest development. Bruz is back in the news again because he is breaking ranks. Keep going to say, hello, Ellie. I keep going to say Deputy Prime Minister. Deputy Premier John Barilaro rules out COVID-19 curfew for regional news. He's broken government ranks with a shock admission about one of the most controversial COVID rules in New South Wales. Bruz is in trouble. So he's saying curfews don't work and claims government introduced the tough restriction in parts of Sydney because of pressure from the media. Mr. Barilaro on Monday ruled out introducing a curfew in Dubbo. Which recorded 595 cases in the past 4 weeks and is at the centre of Western New South Wales outbreak. Curfews don't work. Let's be honest, guys. The reality that we went down the curfew model for southwestern and Western Sydney is because one way there was a lot of media push. He told a regional media briefing. If you look at the numbers, since we put the curfew in, nothing's changed. Numbers continue to rise. So I won't impose curfews on the people of Dubbo when I know it does nothing more than hurt the well-being of that community. People living in Sydney's 12 local government areas of concern have been under an overnight curfew since August 23, preventing them from leaving their homes between 9 p.m. Huh? That's a mistake. News.com.au, you've made a mistake. They put it says, this is what it says. I'm reading this. It says overnight curfew since August 23, preventing them from leaving their homes between 9 p.m. and 5 p.m. unless they are essential workers or it is an emergency. It's supposed to be 5 a.m., but it says 5 p.m. That means they don't get out. That means that they've only got from 5 p.m. to 9 p.m. free. That's 4 hours a day. PM to 5 p.m. I'm sorry, that's just funny. The poor people in Sydney, 4 hours out a day. So we have a curfew. We have, where I live in Melbourne, we have a curfew from 9 p.m. till 5 a.m. Why don't working 9 to 5? No, locked in 9 to 5. What a way to have a curfew. No wonder the people of Sydney are going crazy. Anyway, I think so. It says the Barrel-Jiggling government introduced the divisive public health measure in an attempt to further restrict social mobility in the suburbs affected by the virus. The Premier Gladys Berejiklian had previously stared down calls to introduce a curfew amid criticism that Sydney's COVID-19 lockdown measures were too soft. Please know that we are not the type of government, and I'm not the type of Premier that is going to be asking citizens to do things that we don't think are going to have an effect, she said in July. So the opposition leader, Chris Minns, on Sunday called for an end to curfews in the Sydney hotspots, which he says has divided our city. Now, I do correct that. I do agree with that. Either the whole place has a curfew or nobody has a curfew. Because how do you collate whether someone should be having a curfew? I hope this pandemic lasts just so I can hear you pronounce Berejiklian. Do you know, I could not, when I first started covering Bruz, I couldn't say Barilaro. Now I've learned to say Barilaro. I may learn to say Berejiklian. I cannot say it Berejiklian by the end of it. See, in Victoria, we just have damn. Joe, the way you just said, please no gave me flashbacks. That was deliberate. Cooper, I'm sorry. Bo, I agree. Partial measures are no good. Anyway, they are arbitrary and are having a disproportionate impact on shift workers, including frontline health workers. I've always backed decisions based on health advice, but by the Premier and Chief Health Officer Kerry Chant's own admissions, there is no evidence that curfews have a significant or marginal impact. The Labor MP has also endorsed the New South Wales plans to reopen as soon as 70% of the state's residents aged over 16 have been fully vaccinated against COVID-19. So they registered 1280. Now, Mr. O'Brien from Victoria. Did you see that? Did you just see something that the opposition of New South Wales has just done? He says, I have always backed decisions based on health advice. The Labor MP endorsed the New South Wales government plan. Oh, the opposition supporting the government during a pandemic. Oh, Mr. O'Brien. maybe, just maybe, if you did something similar, you may not lose your job tomorrow. Dim Tim and Mr. Guy may not be challenging your leadership tomorrow if you had done something like support the government during a pandemic. So there you go. Because at the moment, there's going to be a new opposition leader in Victoria tomorrow. And it's good to see that an opposition party is actually supporting the government. Yes, so two of the opposition front benches, Dim Tim and Matthew Guy, have resigned from their positions today in the opposition, and it is believed that there'll be a spill tomorrow. So while Victoria is battling the pandemic, the Victorian Liberal Party have decided that now is a good time to fight and jostle over leadership. Because I call him O'Brien. Oh dear, I'm so funny sometimes. I crack myself up. I'm just trying to find the story. Where was it? Yeah, look. So sad. I think for a lot of Victorians, we're just sick of hearing the whining and the whinging. We're just sick of the whining and the whinging because every day we get how we just get whinging and whining, and it's just we're just fed up with it. And it'd be just really nice to know. We have had, there was Turnbull, Abbott, Turnbull, Morrison. So this is from Channel 9. So I'm not saying that the opposition has to, they don't have to always agree, right? However, if the House, as the New South Wales opposition leader said, if it's backed by health advice, then I cannot understand how the opposition can criticise that, because if they were in power, they would be getting the exact same advice. So it says Victoria could have a new opposition leader within a few days as Liberal leader, as former Liberal leader, he's already had a go and failed, seeks the support of colleagues to topple Michael O'Brien in a party room coup his supporters are proposing to call as early as tomorrow. Mr. Family Guy, has been considering a return to leadership for a number of months, but has constantly and publicly denied he would seek the job he held between 2014 and 2018, culminating his devastating election defeat to Premier Dan Andrews. He got booted after he lost to the Premier. Mr. O'Brien has been on notice since March to improve the party's prospects or face another challenge. So on the left, we've got Mr. O'Brien, and on the right, we've got, don't you know the Family Guy? Sorry. The party sources says he's buried his head in the sand since then. Many key problems identified by these colleagues were left unaddressed, including being inaccessible to colleagues. Mr. O'Brien, you've got to be available. He might have made moves to restructure his office, but repeatedly refused to take advice from key supporters. according to well-placed sources. There's actually a company called Windscreen O'Brien's, and that's their ad. O'Brien. And so every time you should hear, I've actually taught Harrison to do it. So every time he sees Michael O'Brien now, he goes, O'Brien. And Mr. Family Guy. So I apologize. So anyway, so we could have a new leader tomorrow. A new opposition leader tomorrow. So Mr. Family Guy looks like he's going to try and topple O'Brien. Oh boy. Oh, that's funny. Oh, how many prime ministers does it take to change a light bulb? Oh. Oh, yes, an ad for O'Brien. This is an ad for O'Brien. Do you want me to, I don't think I can grab it through there. Oh, is that for Windscreen O'Brien's, or is that a... Let me just show you where I got it from. Paste. I don't know that I can. Windscreen O'Brien. No, it's so funny. All right, here we go. It's better not let me down. Oh, you'll all be singing O'Brien. You'll see why I do it. I don't know whether this is the ad that you had. Oh yeah, this is it. Yeah, this is the ad. Hang on. Let me just get this sorted out. All right, here we go. This is the ad.
It's amazing to live here. I studied really hard to get to where I am.
Hey, why have I got ads? Oh yeah, here we go.
My training has given me the confidence and expertise to do a great job every time. Fitting windscreens is really complicated. It's so important that it's done right.
Call now to make a booking with your local O'Brien expert. O'Brien.
There we go. That's where it goes. That's where it comes from. O'Brien. Every time you see the name O'Brien, I swear you're going to do it. I swear you're going to do it now. Here's an ad from 2010. So this ad has been around. It's been around for years. Here's another one.
O'Brien, we fix more than just windscreens, chips, and glass for cars. We also fix all the other important glass in your life, around your home or work. So for same-day service, call O'Brien before midday.
O'Brien.
Not only is a chip a distraction...
Yeah, okay, all right. You've made your point. Hiya! There's another, I mean, we have a couple of phrases that we always do. I mean, oh yeah, there's one from the, late 80s with the full song. Yeah, because I can remember O'Brien, but yeah. So I call the opposition leader O'Brien. So anyway, gee whiz. Well, I think the problem is, because the virus keeps changing, I think because each version of the virus sort of changes. But there's another phrase of ours that we go. It's called "not happy Jan." So we'll go "not happy Jan." I'll show you that ad as well. It was a Yellow Pages ad. Here we go. And so this is something else we always say. Not happy Jan.
John?
Okay.
John?
Where's our ad in the
Yellow Pages directory? Come to 10, 1, 2, 3, 8, 9, 10. Not happy, John!
Let's watch it again. I love it.
John? John? Where's our ad in the Yellow Pages directory? Keep calm. Count to 10. 1, 2, 3, 8, 9, 10. Not happy, John!
So quite often, so when you go to tell somebody that you're upset, we go, not happy, Jan, and we know exactly what it means. Oh, and then there was under the bonnet sun. Oh, no, there's the phone reg. There's the phone reg under the bonnet sun. Do you remember that one? Oh, there's the phone reg under the bonnet sun. All right, we're going to keep going. You might as well keep going. All right. Let's go. Here.
That'll be the phone, Rich.
That would be the phone, Reg.
Hello? Huh? Sounds like the battery, son. Under the bonnet, son. Bye. I think city life's made him a bit slow, Madge. It doesn't take much to keep in touch.
Let's watch that one again. All right.
That'll be the phone, Rich.
Hello? Huh? Sounds like the battery, son. Under the bonnet, son. Bye. I think city life's made him a bit slow, Madge. It doesn't take much to keep in touch.
Oh, ants pants. We need to find the ants pants one. That is amazing. Ants pants. Oh, gee. And that's right. Go. G-O. G-G-O. All right, we'll do the G-O-G-G-O first. And then we'll do ants pants. And then ants pants, because the ants pants, yes, stick 'em reg. Oh, and then there's the no knickers, because it goes, I'm wearing no knickers, I'm wearing no knickers. No knickers. Anyway, it's like the no knickers ad. I used to be able to say the whole ad. Right, here we go. Here's another one. We're looking at Australian ads. This is just bizarre.
Broken press. Problem with my Gogomobile.
Gee.
Gogomobile. Problem with my Gogomobile. I was wondering. G-O-G-O-M-O-B-I-L-E. GGO. With my Gogomobile. Yeah? Yeah? No, not the da. Not the da. So they always think it's the da.
All right, so what? Play that again, just in case you didn't get it the first time. Yeah, we looked at Not Happy Jen.
A broken press. Problem with my Gogomobile. Gogomobile? My Gogomobile, I was wondering.
G-G-O.
My Gogomobile. Yeah? Yeah? No, not the da. Not the da. So they always think it's the da.
There you go. You once owned a Go-Go-Mobile, Joanne? Oh, I hope everyone's liking these. These are some of the Australian ads. So let's do Ants Pants. Sick 'em Reg. This is a really weird ad. You're probably going to think Australians are cracked.
Sick of Rex.
Elbows and spans. It's unbelievable underwear.
Oh, let's look at that one.
Sick of Rex.
Elbows and spans. It's unbelievable underwear.
It's underwear. All right. No knickers ad. This is called No Knickers. Oh, there's a few of them. All right. Where are we? It was a very weird ad. Was it this one? Oh. Yeah, with the piano player. Yeah, that's right.
I think I'm wearing no knickers. I'm really in a spot. These new ones are so comfortable. I can't tell if they're on or not. I think I'm wearing no knickers. The trouble is, you see, they're now so smooth and silky. They feel, well, just like me. I think I'm wearing no knickers. Just let me check to be sure. Oh! I am wearing no knickers, more comfortable than ever before. Guess what? I think I'm wearing no knickers. I'm really in a spot. These new ones are so comfortable. I can't tell if they're on or not. I think I'm wearing no knickers. The trouble is, you see, they're now so smooth and silky. They feel, well, just like me. I think I'm wearing no knickers. Just let me check to be sure. Oh, I am wearing no knickers. More comfortable than ever before. Guess what?
Thank you. Thank you for joining. Oh, Cooper and Dee, thank you. I don't know. Oh, boy. Thank you very much for joining. So I'm playing each one twice just so that you can actually work it out what's happening. Because the first time you're probably going, what? The second time. All right, here we go. Here's the next lot of Australian ads. Oh, yes, banned Toyota ads. Here we go.
Bugger. Bugger me. Bugger. Easy now, son. Ooh, bugger. You Bruz.
Bricks, topsoil, planks. Topsoil, planks, handbrake.
There we go.
Bugger.
Bugger me.
Oh, all right. So now we go to the Carlton. Which one was the Carlton draft one? Oh, it's a big ad. Carlton draft. Okay. Oh. All right. The Carlton draft. Oh yeah, some of the people are finding that they're not getting notifications. Some are being kicked out as subs, some are being kicked out as members. It's really all right. Here we go. Oh no, we'll do the full version. Is it the full version? This is the short version. Hang on. Is it this one, the full version, slow-mo? Or is it the big ad? Tell me which one it is. Which one you want? The 1, 2, or 3? I'm not sure. Big ad. This one. Do big ad. Okay. Carlton draft a big ad. It says best quality online. Okay, we'll do that one. All right. This is it, I think. Yeah. All right, I'm going to do that again. We're going to watch that again. There you go. That is a beer ad. That is an ad for beer in Australia. What do you reckon about that one? Oh. Oh. Well, they wouldn't be able to show it. I don't think they're allowed to show those ads now during kids' time. LJ Hooker was the other one, wasn't it? Was another one. Oh, this is bringing back some memories, you know. The other one that I liked was, so it was cool, wasn't it, Bo? All right, so let's look at, cheese. All right, so there's quite a few. I'm going to go with, oh, gee, LJ Hooker. Let's go with the 1996 LJ Hooker one. This is from 1996. Mr. Hooker. All right, let's do that again. Thank you, Mr. Hooker. Oh, Big Kev. Oh, I'm excited. All right. There was one that I wanted to do. There was two more I wanted to do it. I just thought, don't answer. KJ will serve you. All right. I'm just going to go solo man ad. Nobody does it better. Okay, here we go. Here's the original. Look at this one.
You gotta work it hard to be a solo man. You're gonna take the lead and make the others follow. Keep in shape to be a solo man. You gotta thirst for it. You gotta crack a solo. Extra tangy lemon solo. Right on the fizz so you can slam it down fast. You faced the challenge. You earned the reward. You gotta crack a solo.
Oh, this one. Norm. Oh, live piano. Oh, I had this when I was a kid.
There's something on telly I want you to watch, Norm.
Well, that's a turn-up. The more or less diet. What you eat has a great effect on your health. The more or less diet encourages you to eat more of those foods that are beneficial to good health and less of those foods that are low in nutrition.
Eat more fruits and cereals. Eat more fruits and cereals. Eat more fruit and vegetables. Eat more fruit and vegetables. And be more active. Are you listening to that, Norm?
Sure.
What?
Oh, I said more.
Eat less fat. Eat less salt. Eat less sugar. Eat less fat. Eat less salt. Eat less sugar.
Yes.
What?
I said less. For a copy of the More or Less Diet, write to the Department of Community Services and Health, Canberra City, 2601.
Oh, wow. Oh, dear. Norm, hey? Oh. The reading, right? Yeah. Reading, writing, hot. Now, what did you want? The all three New Zealand deck. What? The all three New Zealand deck ad, was it? Oh, here we go. All 3 New Zealand deck ads. Okay. All right, here we go.
If you're like me, you find it very hard to keep your dick dry. I left my dick unprotected and it was warped out of shape in no time. I could barely recognise my own dick. Then I discovered Schaefer's New Zealand style dick sealant. The best way to take care of your dick in 3 easy steps. First, wash your dick with soap and water. Then, wait for your dick to dry. Once your dick is clean and dry, paint your dick with Schaefer's dick sealant. I used to be too embarrassed to invite people over to see my dick. But now, my dick's the top. I even have pictures of my dick. Check out that dick. I send this to my secretary. Barbara always loves to receive my dick pics. After all, summertime is all about spending time on your dick. I often have 20 to 30 people on my dick at once. That can really wear your dick out, causing dick splinters, discoloration. But with Schaefer's dick sealant, my dick stays a nice golden brown colour. Who wouldn't want a golden dick? I used to never let children anywhere near my dick. My dick was too dangerous for kids to play on. But it seems like every kid in the neighbourhood's been on my dick this summer. They've all had a good time. My dick's over 70 years old, but it looks brand new. That's part of the reason all my neighbours are jealous of my dick. Wasn't that right, Jump? Yes, you've got a nice dick, okay? His wife is always on my dick, begging me to know the secret of my perfect dick. If you like Schaefer's dick sealant, check out Schaefer's New Zealand style cock. I had a huge hole in my dick, but I fixed it by jamming some cock in it. You'd be surprised how many things you can fix by jamming cock in it. Have an extra large hole in your dick? Try Schaefer's African style cock. Just go to your local home improvement store and ask for the big black cock. Schaefer's New Zealand style dick sealant. Don't put it on your penis. There's also a helpful number on the back. Hi, I've got a question about my dick. Schaefer's New Zealand style. Hey, get that squirrel off my dick. He knows he's not allowed to come on my dick. Right around the time I turned 40, my dick became soft and spongy. I never used it anymore. My wife wouldn't even sit on my dick. The neighbourhood kids would point and laugh. But that was before I discovered Schaefer's New Zealand style dick hardener. The makers of Schaefer's dick sealant. It keeps your dick nice and hard all year round in 3 simple steps. First, grab a neighbour to help you, because making your dick as hard as a rock can be a 2-man job. Then, rub the dick hardener into your dick, hard and fast. And when you get tired, take a break and watch your neighbour rub your dick. It's fun to watch someone else rub your dick. And finally, simply wait for your dick to get hard while you think about all the fun times you'll have this year on your rock-hard dick.
Oh, New Zealand.
I've rubbed my dick raw with other inferior products. But that won't happen with Schaefer's dick hardener, because Schaefer's is committed to your dick. And the people at headquarters do nothing but think about dicks all day long. In fact, Schaefer's now has an entire new line of products specifically formulated just for your dick. There's Schaefer's dick paint for when you want to play around with having a different coloured dick. And if you want to get rid of your dick entirely and start from scratch, try Schaefer's dick remover.
Oh,
The
no.
unique acid formula will melt away your dick in no time. And if you don't think it'll work, ask me mum. She used to have a dick. Then she got rid of it when she met Dad. To be honest, I think Dad looked at
No,
it.
I haven't.
It was enormous. But most importantly, be on the lookout for the world's first dick vacuum. Schaefer's
no.
New Zealand style dick sucker. Because why should you pay 2 guys you don't know to show up in a van and suck your dick for you? Now you can suck your own dick all you want. Hey, why not make yourself some extra money and suck everyone in the neighbourhood's dick while you're at it? So join us on social media and tweet us a picture of your dick using the hashtag #ShowUsYourDick. Oh look, we've already got them. Show us your dicks, big and small. We're at Schaefer's, we can take them all. A dick in the front, a dick in the rear. We've serviced dicks our entire career. Schaefer's, it's good for your wood.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna stop it because I don't know if we can do another one. All right, we'll do slip, slot, slap. I know that one's safe. Oh boy. Oh, I hope you think the non-Aussies have left the stream. No, we've picked up a few. So to all the non-Aussies, are you enjoying these Australian ads? We're going down memory lane. My dad's the latest. Oh boy. So I hope you're all enjoying all of these. All right, here is this one, the original. There's lots of stuff like. Oh, come on, 1980.
The sun's shining down, so desperate to brown. But skin cancer isn't so hot, no it's not. So if you take a run or work in the sun, should you sizzle like a sausage? Most certainly not. Be especially careful about small kitties. Just say these simple words. Slip, slop, slap. It sounds like a breeze when you say it like that. Slip, slop, slap. In the sun is summer slap. Slip, slop, slap. Slop, slap. Slip on a shirt, slop on sunscreen and slap on a hat. Slip, slop, slap. You can stop skin cancer, slap. Slip, slop, slap. Slop, slap. It's so simple. Slip, slop, slap.
It's interesting that even as far back as 1980, they were talking about the effects of the sun and skin cancer. I've never forgotten that song. It's so catchy. The Americans will be cursing us tomorrow because they'll be singing all these. They'll be singing all these ads. Oh, banana boat ad. All right. All right, here we go. Here's our next one. Oh.
Banana boat.
Frontside protection.
Banana boat.
It's 30 plus.
Banana boat.
It lasts for hours and hours and hours.
Banana boat. Banana boat. Psycho.
There you go. We'll try it again.
Frontside protection.
Banana boat.
It's 30 plus.
Banana boat.
It lasts for hours and hours and hours.
Banana boat.
Banana boat. Psycho.
There you go. Oh boy. We've had some very interesting, and we've had some very clever ads. I don't think some of the ads now, I don't think are as clever, I have to say. The other one I want to do is the VB, the original VB ad. I used to know, what about when Woolies was called Safeway? I want to do the very original Victoria Bitter ad from 1984. This is the one I grew up with. I knew every word. Now, we don't drink. I don't drink, but I knew every single word of it. Knew every.
You can get it riding.
You can get it sliding.
You can feel it coming on about 4. A hard-earned thirst needs a big cold beer. And the best cold beer is Vic. Vic Bitter. You can get it in a hole or up a pole. You can get it doing nothing at all. A hard-earned thirst needs a big cold beer. And the best cold beer is Vic. A long, cold Vic. You can get it walking. You can get it talking. You can get it working a plow. Matter of fact, I got it now. A hard-earned thirst needs a big cold beer. And the best cold beer is Vic. Victoria Bitter.
So that was, and then they would use those various, they just change up the pictures. You can get it YouTubing. Yeah. You can get it searching. Oh, anyway. So, yes. So, there's some of the classic Australian ads. All right, we'll do one more, and then we're going to end the stream. I didn't get onto the guy that's going to jail for contempt of court. I think this is much more fun. Redoing my childhood. We're redoing my childhood. George Patterson advertising made. Oh, come on, Ozzy. Oh, of course. Got to do that one. All right, we'll do the original. We'll do the original. All right, here's the last ad for tonight. Oh, here we go. Oh, wait on. Is this it? Yeah, that ad. Yeah. Lily's pounding down like a machine.
You've been training all the winter, and there's not a team that's fitting. And
That's the way it's gonna be.
Because you're up against the best you know. This is super test, you know. And you've got to beat the best the world has seen. Lily's pounding down like a machine. Pascal's making divots in the green. She's taking wickets. Brooks clearing pickets. And the chapel's eyes have got that killer gleam. Mr. Walker's playing with the bats. Red Path, it's good to see you back. Ladies making runs. Doggies chewing gum. And Gilmore's wielding willow like an axe. Come on, Ozzy, come on, come on. Come on, Ozzy, come on, come on. Come on, Ozzy, come on, come on. Come on, Ozzy, come on.
Hey, where's the rest of it? Oi, where's the rest of it? I want the rest of the song. Anyway, that was the ad. Dennis Lilly, yeah. So anyway, we might have to do a new segment of Aussie ads, but that was the original.
The Kiwis are back to sea.
Oh, and then this was 1982. Oh no, that's all right. I'm going to do this. This one just appeared. I hadn't seen this one.
And there's Willis and Botham.
All right, so this is from 1982. Mojo Classics Australian Cricket Ad World Series Cup. Got to do this one now.
Kiwis are back to seek revenge. And there's Willis and Botham and friends. Things are hotting up in a World Series Cup. The game will never be the same again. It's gonna be the greatest show on turf. You can bet your hat you'll get your money's worth. Every ball counts. Attention rebounds. We're out to give them just what they deserve. No one ever knows who will, of course. Many a man has shouted himself hoarse. The crowds will all be chanting. Cricket's national anthem. You know the words. Come on, I'll play the chords.
What Kiwis? Back when cigarette companies could actually advertise, hey, it was called the Benson and Hedges World Series Cup. Oh, I saw the come on ad there. You have a go at show Decatur advertising. Yeah, I can't remember what that is. I have to say, I mean, I don't watch a lot of the current ads. But anyway. So I want to thank you for joining me today. It was so good to be back. I remembered everything. So as I said, on Saturday morning, my time, Friday night, for those in the US, we'll have a sports broadcaster on. So make sure you come up with some questions as to how maybe you want to know about sports broadcasting. Maybe you want to find out about research, you know, because they actually have to do research because they're actually sports journalists. And yeah, so we'll see how that goes. And as I said, if it goes well, we could, and it may become a regular thing. So we'll see how it goes. But anyway, thank you for joining me. Make sure you hit the like button, the subscribe button. Thank you for those that became new members. It's really appreciated. As I said, I'm rejuvenated. I've had a really good break. And I'll be back tomorrow night for some more. Yes, a tobacco company. I know that, and that was always the irony, that the cigarette company. Yeah, well, I wanted a bit of a fun stream to get us back into it. Oh no, I can't watch the rest of the decade. I need to try and go to sleep. Anyway, so thank you everybody, and yeah, I'll catch you again tomorrow.